everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon so you never miss a video. Today we are going to dive into the topic of arpeggios on the bass guitar. This is a fundamental skill and every bassist should know how to do this. It's going to help you enhance your skills and add some depth in your bass guitar playing. So let's get started. First of all, what is an arpeggio? Simply put, an arpeggio is when you play the individual notes from a chord in sequence one by one. For example, this is a chord. This is the arpeggio. Technically, it's the same chord, but the notes are not strummed, they are plucked one by one. One note is just a note. Two notes make an interval. Three or more notes make a chord. It means that the simplest, the basic chords, have three sounds. With the three sounds, they are called triads. Or there can be more than three. This is the scale, how you play it on the bass guitar, and I'm going to show you an example of a major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is basically 1 again, because this is the same note, and this interval is called an octave. From that scale, if you skip the notes 2 and 4, you will get 1, 3, 5. So 1, 3, 5. This is a basic major triad. That's why the second note in a triad is called the third, and the third note in a triad is called a fifth. It can be a minor scale as well, and the rule is the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm skipping 2 and 4, and I'm getting 1, 3, 5. I got it. This is the minor triad. I think I need to film another additional video about the scales. I'll do it later. So for a triad, we have three notes, 1, 3, 5, and some intervals between those notes. This distance between the notes can be measured in semitones, which are actually frets on the bass guitar. For a major triad, the first interval between 1 and 3 is 4 semitones or 4 frets, and the second interval is 3 semitones or 3 frets. Let's see what it sounds like. For example, I'll get this note as a root tone. Now I'm counting 4 semitones up. 1, 2, 3, 4, so. It's pretty far on a fretboard, and this note can be taken actually closer to the root tone here. It's the same note here. Okay, now from this note I'm counting 3 semitones up to find the fifth. 1, 2, 3. It is here! This is my major triad arpeggio. On paper it looks like this: 1, 3, 5. It can be taken on any string, on the string E, on the string A, on the string D, doesn't matter. What matters is the basic combination of fingers. For the major triad arpeggio, you need to start with the finger number 2. Like we have just 4 fingers for playing on the bass guitar. So this is the finger number 2, you start with this. The next note will be taken with the finger number 1 on the next string. And the next note is 3 semitones above it. You need to stretch your hand. This is the same string. The same combination can be used everywhere. It's all major triads. Practice this shape until you are comfortable to do it. You don't have to be fast, but you'd better make sure that all your sounds are clear, and it helps if you practice them with the metronome. Now, the minor triads. They have different intervals between the notes, and between first note and the third they have 3 semitones, and the second interval is 4 semitones. For the minor arpeggios, the third can also be found on this string here. So if you played the major arpeggio like this, The minor arpeggio can look like this, just lowering down your third, a semitone down. And in your bass lines, you can use both options of the third. This option or this option, it doesn't matter. However, when you play the arpeggio from the root tone to the eighth and maybe higher, it's better if you use this one. For a minor triad, I count 3 semitones up from a root tone. So let's say this is my root tone. 1, 2, 3. My third is here, and now I need to find the fifth. I'm counting 4 semitones up. 1, 2, 3, 4. My first note, the third one, and the fifth one. But it's not comfortable to play all the notes on the same string, and this note, which is the fifth, can be taken closer to the root tone. Here, it's the same. So together they sound like this: 1, 3, and 5. On paper it looks like this: 1, 3, 5. And again, it can be taken on any string in any position. These are all minor triads. The same finger in different places, different minor chords. It's interesting that together, from 1 to 5, both major and minor chords have the same number of semitones. It's 7 here, right? 4 plus 3. And it's 7 here for the minor chord, 3 plus 4. It means that the fifth is always at the same distance above the root tone, 7 semitones. If you know the basic hand shapes for arpeggios, you can start playing them freely even before you learn all the notes on the fretboard. This is a good thing about positional playing. You just learn your position, your fingering, and you use it in different places on the fretboard. You don't even have to see what you play because your fingers know where to go. One day I filmed a video playing in a mask. That mask did have some holes for the eyes, but actually I wasn't able to see what I played. And I relied on the positional playing. Finally, it came out okay. That was challenging, but the positional playing helped me a lot. It is quite important that your fretboard hand needs to be ready to play in a position 1 finger, 1 fret. You don't have to hold it constantly in a spider-like shape, especially in the low positions, because the distance here between the frets is pretty big and it's just hard for your hand to stay in this position constantly. But you need to be ready to play like this if it's necessary. For example, playing the F minor arpeggio from this note, which is F, I have to be able to stretch my fingers pretty far. I think I will make another video about the exercises that can help you train your fretboard hand. If you found the root tone, you can find the octave very easily because it's just skipping 1 string and 1 fret. This is an octave. This is an octave. The octaves are everywhere. The octave is actually the same sound, just higher, and the same arpeggio can be found from that tone as well. So this is the low position for arpeggio, and this is the same arpeggio, just higher. A major arpeggio for 2 octaves can sound like this: 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. For the minor chord, it will sound like this: 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. That's why for the minor arpeggios, it's more comfortable using this third instead of this third. They sound the same, but it's just more comfortable for your hand, rather than like this. You can use the octaves for the other notes in arpeggios as well. For example, for the major triad, arpeggio sounds like this. And it's actually all the same notes taken in octaves: the root tone, the third, and the fifth. You also can use the octaves for the arpeggio notes for chords in different positions. For example, here I start on the string A, and this is my fifth here, which can also be taken here an octave lower. So for this chord, I can use this fifth or this fifth, it doesn't matter. And if I start the chord from a note different from the root tone, for example, from this note, this is called an inversion of a chord. Inversions is when you start playing a chord with another note, not a root tone, like from a fifth or from a third. Just one more note into your vocab so that you know what it means. Now you know that playing an arpeggio, we skip some notes from the scale. We skip the second note and we get third. And we skip the fourth note and we get the fifth. 1, 3, 5. Now we can go further. We can skip the note number 6 and get the note number 7. It will give us the seventh chord, which has 4 notes: 1, 3, 5, and 7. On paper, they look like this for a major chord: 1, 3, 5, and 7 can be taken here, or 7 plus can be taken here, and this is going to be an octave, which is number 1 again. For a minor chord, it looks like this: 1, 3, 5, you are familiar with this position already, and the 7 is here, like the same for a major chord, and the 7 plus is here. Here is an octave. I'll stop a little bit more on the example of a major 7th chord arpeggio. The 7th is located right before the octave, but it can be just 1 semitone down or 2 semitones down. If it's 2 semitones down, it's called the 7th, just the 7th, or the minor 7th, or the flat 7th. And this is a little bit confusing because the major chord, which is defined with its third tone, can have the minor 7th. That's why when you talk about the 7th chords, it's better to say major or minor about the third tone, and you can say it's the 7th chord, meaning just the 7th, or you can say it's 7 plus chord, meaning it's 7 plus. Also, the major chords with the major 7th, or with 7th plus, are often indicated like this. This is the root tone, and this is just a little triangle. If you see this little triangle, it means that this is a major chord with major third, and it has a major 7th as well, or 7th plus. I'll play this arpeggio for you. This is C, this is a major triad, and this is my 7th plus. If I go further, I get 8, or 1 again. You also can find the 7th just before the root tone in the low position. For example, this is my root tone. Here or here I can find the 7th or the 7th plus. Usually in low positions, the 7th work very fine for the bass lines, something like. There are many more different interesting chords that can be played as an arpeggio. For example, semi-diminished, diminished, augmented, the chords with the 6th, with the 9th, the 11th, 13th, many more. They wouldn't fit all together in one video, so I might need to cover them separately later one day. However, for most of rock and pop and funk repertoire, it's usually enough when you just learn and play the chords which are covered in this video. Okay, now how to apply arpeggios in your playing. You can use them both for your bass lines and for your solo lines. This is an example of how the arpeggio notes can be used for creating a very cool and famous riff. chords. F minor, D flat major and C major. F, D flat and C. So it can sound like this, without any riffs and arpeggios. Da 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 dum. Da 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 dum, da 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 dum. The first chord, F minor, lasts for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. The next chord is equals 2 beats and 2 beats for C major as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, da 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da, da, da. You can count yourself. The first chord is played using the arpeggio on the bass. It looks like this. This is the root tone. This is the minor third. Back to the root tone. This is the 7th. And you go through this 7th to the D flat major chord and to the C major chord. Just the root tones and a little bit of arpeggio and you get it. Try to incorporate arpeggios in different musical styles in your practice and you'll find it out that the more you practice, the more natural these arpeggios will become in your playing. That's it for today's lesson on arpeggios. I hope you found this helpful and that you are excited about how to include these cool arpeggios into your bass guitar playing. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. And please let me know what other topics you'd like to see covered in my videos. And as always, don't forget to subscribe for more bass guitar tutorials. Thanks for watching and happy bass playing!